Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Crit. Today we're taking another look at Langrisser M. Now I know that it's been a little while since we talked about this game, since those last two sponsored videos that I did on the game, so I do just want to make a note that any sponsorship that I do accept on this channel is genuinely for something that I actually really like, and that's the only reason why I'm willing to talk about it. I've gotten a lot of opportunities to talk about other stuff, but most of the time I'm not too keen on it, and with the similarity between the Langrisser series and the Fire Emblem series, you know, in connection with this channel, I just thought it was a really great opportunity, and I actually really do love the game. So first off, I do want to point out we do actually have a Lucky Crit guild. I haven't been able to be as active with it as I've wanted to in the past little while, but I'm going to be trying to be a little bit more active. There is a new guild battle system, this guild war, which I haven't been doing too much, because in order to start the guild war, you do actually need to have at least 20 members. So I think we do finally have that amount of people playing. I don't know if everybody in here is still active and how long it's been since they've played, but it is something that I'll be looking into, and there is also a vice leader in Walter King in here. I know a lot of the people that have actually watched my Langrisser videos on the channel are already much farther ahead. I won't, however, be able to add everyone who wants to enter into the guild, considering there's a limit of about 50 members. So if you do actually want to join the Lucky Crit guild, what I'll recommend that you do is actually join our Discord server, which you can find in the video description down below, and then find the Langrisser M chat channel that we have, and just post in there that you want to join, and that way we can add people who are a little bit more active as a part of the Discord in our community, because otherwise I won't know most of the people that end up trying to sign up for the guild, and obviously I can only accept so many more people. So if you are looking for a guild in Langrisser M, be sure to check out our Discord and join that way. Now, I know it's been a little while. I was actually super disappointed within the past probably week or so with the game, not because of anything that the game did, but actually because I ended up missing out on a really good banner that I wanted to pull on. It was actually the Princess banner, and I thought it had an extra day, but when it says 1 day left, that pretty much means that this is the final day. Once reset hits, it's gone, and so that's what happened to me. I really wanted to pull on that particular banner because the focus characters were Tiaris, Lana, and Luna. And I had Tiaris already, and with that particular banner, it does guarantee, kind of like this one, that the first SSR that you pull is guaranteed to be one that you don't have yet. And Lana and Luna are both characters that I would be extremely excited to have. They're characters that I've kind of wanted since launch. So I kind of messed up on that. But what I'm going to do today for you guys, especially for those of you that aren't too familiar with Langrisser M, maybe you haven't been playing too much, maybe you didn't check out the game last time around, but you will this time, I'll go through what it's like to do some of the dailies in the game. For those of you that are higher level than me, I mean, you'll obviously know all of this stuff already, so it's not going to be as helpful for you guys. But I do know that there were some players that did actually complain about how long it was taking to do dailies. And I did honestly notice that. It did take a little while because it wasn't as mindless as most other games. And I do have to admit that in general, there is actually just so much content in this game that it's just tricky to be able to get through and do everything. I remember originally, I think it was the community manager who, I don't know if he's still the community manager, it was Failart, I believe, who initially said that they were hoping that dailies would take about 30 minutes, which I think is a pretty fair amount of time, but there's just so many different modes in this game that even with the recent changes that they've had, I still don't know if that's quite the case, but we'll get into that. So for now, I'm actually going to go into my mail and pick up any rewards here. So this was just a free reward for the new update coming. Pretty cool. And the special monthly event that they have now is called Langrisser Day, which is pretty cool. So there's going to be official gifts and also some other stuff going on, so I like that. I'll definitely take those Trinity vouchers and save those up for the future, of course. This is just a maintenance announcement, and that's something I already picked up. Okay, cool. Now, secondly, I'm going to go and send medals, give all and claim all to all the friends. These friendship vouchers can actually be used in the shop, but it does take quite a while to actually save up. So you can see here, I'm actually pretty close to one of these Trinity vouchers here. If I played every single day, I might be able to hit this monthly 2 Trinity voucher limit, but in this case, not quite there yet. So that's pretty cool. Next, I'll just show you guys my characters to kind of give you a feel and a sense of how far I am and where I am in the game so far. So I actually managed to get incredibly lucky, and within the first couple days of playing the game, I think it was probably my 3rd or 4th summon that I did, I managed to pull Leon, and I wasn't initially looking to get Leon. I knew how amazing he was. I even knew that in the original version of the game, everyone called it Leongrisser because of how amazing Leon is. But it wasn't specifically a character that I was going for in that initial banner. But I do have to say that ever since I got him, he's been absolutely, without a doubt, the most pivotal character in my army, and he's been just incredibly useful since day one, which is really great. Bozel here was given away as part of a free event, so if you did miss out on that, I do think that they actually will redo events in the future. You're probably going to have to wait a little while for that to happen, but hopefully that'll come back around and you can snag yourself a free copy of Bozal. Now, I do have to admit, within the first month of the game, I wasn't progressing as fast as other people because, you know, I was working on other videos and stuff, and it wasn't really something that I could pop in on every single day. So there was a point in time where, for probably about half of this Bozal event, I wasn't actually able to play the event because of how high-leveled the requirements were. I wasn't able to beat some of the maps. So in the final week of the Bozal event, I managed to play pretty consistently around then, and I managed to grind out and actually get my free copy of Bozal within that last week. It did take some grinding because obviously I didn't have the daily bonuses and all that kind of stuff, but it was possible, so that was really cool. Managed to snag myself a Bozal. I think from what I've heard, he's pretty equipment-based. Basically, like, he'll be good if I give him some good stuff, but I don't really have anything that's amazing for him to have just yet. All my best magic stuff has kind of been put on Egbert here and also Imelda. Those have kind of been my mages for the most part so far. I do have to admit, Imelda's been a pretty amazing character. Her skills are just really good. It's really varied. So in this case, we have Free Strike here, which is actually good against Lancers. That's incredibly useful, especially when you're trying to beat and knock through some of those tanky Lancer characters. Then she also has Mass Attack for an attack buff, which is amazing. And then also Blizzard, which is an AoE. She's kind of been like my third or fourth like ride or die member that's always there alongside Leon and other folks. And the fact that they're also, with the faction buffs, also parts of Empire's Honor is really good too. So long term, that would be the team to build around. I have been focusing on Freya here as my main Lancer. Long term, that's not going to work out if I want to do Empire's Honor. I would have to do Vargas here, who I did start training up, but, you know, I haven't liked him as much as Freya, though I do know that his revive is actually really, really good too. But I did really get a good use so far out of Freya. I did hear that she does fall off quite a bit late game, but so far she's still been pretty useful to me, so can't complain there. Then we have Diehard here. Diehard was a free SSR given out within the first week, actually, which I was super impressed with because of, you know, some issues that fans had with the game, and they did jump on that extremely quickly. So I do really have to hand it to the developers for jumping on that so fast and really fixing stuff and improving the game experience. So that was really cool. Then we had a banner, actually, I think it was the first Tiaris banner that we had, and I knew that Tiaris was going to be a pretty good healer because I had looked at her skills and stuff online from the original game version. So I knew that she would be good, and I did want to try to pull for her. I think she was in a banner with somebody else too that I was interested in. So I went for it, and actually without spending too many vouchers, it must have been like another 2 or 3 batches, I managed to grab a Tiaris, and she has been absolutely incredible as well as a healer. I think in terms of healers, the only other healer that can kind of stand up to her, as far as I'm aware, would happen to be Liana. And Liana's heals, I think, are worse in exchange for the fact that she has Act Again, which is basically a dance skill. So while Tiaris does not have a dance skill, I do think that her heals are some of the best in the game. She does have stuff like Mass Heal here, so just absolutely been incredibly useful so far. Really enjoyed using her as well. Cherie here has been fine too. She's just kind of a glass cannon, so when she does fly in to attack people, you do have to be careful for her to get out of there, otherwise she's pretty much going to die. But Wild Princess, at least in the very beginning, does let her kind of escape, so that's been pretty good too. So overall, I've had a pretty fun time playing the game so far. As far as rare characters, unfortunately I managed to get a lot of really amazing cavalry characters, so Letitia here has been kind of put on the back burner. But I know for a rare character, I think she is probably one of the best rare characters in the game. She has incredibly good skills and stuff too. So if you don't have Leon, there's definitely some good Leon alternatives. I also think this guy here, Emmerich, is a pretty good Leon alternative as well. And also Sonya. Sonya was somebody that I focused on a fair amount in the early days too. I did end up reclassing her to something a little bit weird, a unicorn, which isn't her main class line, but it's just something that I wanted to try experimenting with, because for most characters I did take them down their kind of basic main route here. So that was just kind of a fun one. Unfortunately though, she's really not that great as a unicorn knight. She's not really hitting a lot. You'll see she's kind of a mixed attacker with both attack and intelligence here around the same, and that really isn't helping her out very much at all. So not the best here, but maybe I'll focus on her eventually. But for the time being, it's going to be kind of the main people up here you could see. Narm was pretty useful. So far with this account, I should actually mention, I've only spent $3, $2 of which went to this particular Narm on like day one, because I figured that that would be pretty good, and I kind of wanted this character. And there weren't too many archers that I was thrilled about in the game. I mean, there's Dios, but yeah, you know, I kind of wanted Narm more than that. So I spent $2 for the Narm, and I spent a single dollar to buy the guild creation ticket. So that's everything that I've spent on the game so far, surprisingly. So while I did manage to get pretty lucky pulling both Leon and Tiaris, aside from that, I mean, that's pretty much all I have so far. But the game has been pretty free-to-play friendly, considering that by default, if you started playing on day 1, you could easily have at least 3 SSRs at this point, plus anyone else that you managed to pull. So I thought that was pretty great, and I've been having a pretty solid and pretty good time since then.